Welcome to Minisode number 9 of Two Dimensional Champions. I'm Julian.
I'm Thadnator. Or Thaddeus.
Yay! Thaddeus or whatever.
Both.
Both
Either.
all Julalian, I guess, for me too. I don't know, whatever. And today we're going to be talking about the 34th episode or short in the Animator Expo collection, and that short is called Robot on the Road. And the original work, script writing, and the director was Hiroyuki Okiura, and he's a big name in the industry. Works, I think, primarily for Production IG, but he was he's worked on Evangelion, Akira. This is as a key animator. Paprika, the Cowboy Bebop movie. This guy is he's done a lot of awesome shit, and he spent 7 years in production on his latest movie, which was in 2011, which was entitled A Letter to Momo. And before that, he also did Jinro, which was released in 1998, which was cool. And so he's super awesome. And one of the key animators working on this short was, or should I not was, but is Takeshi Honda, who's super awesome. He's worked on a whole bunch of stuff, and actually I just pulled his stuff off. I had Googled it and then I had X'd out. So he was the character designer and chief animator for Deno Coil. He was the chief animator and director of the third Evangelion movie, and he's worked on End of Evangelion, Millennium Actress, Perfect Blue. I mean, this guy's awesome. He's super super cool. He's worked on the Ghost in the Shell films, or at least the second one, and goes all the way back to Gunbuster and Nadia and Bubblegum Crisis in the early 90s, late 80s. So at the beginning of Gynax and all that. So he's super awesome. So the short is super, super, super pretty.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It really reminded me of like Paprika, actually.
Yeah.
I was getting
Yeah.
Paprika flashes of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a gorgeous short. I mean the colors are amazing. The animation is fabulous. I think this is one of the few shorts I think that is entirely hand drawn. I
Really?
didn't notice a lot of CG in this one. But
I don't
someone
know how one. I mean, it was pretty, so I just assumed it was CJ. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I mean I'm not super sure, but it looked majority hand drawn to me, but anyway, it's really pretty. It's also really creepy.
It's really, really creepy.
Yeah.
It like It made me pretty uncomfortable, to be
Oh yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. But yeah, again, you can find it at, did we mention that where you can find it? Animator Expo.
Yeah, animatorexpo.com.
Yeah. Um, I don't really know where to start. So I guess the first thing that really stood out to me was the trailer,
Yeah.
and how reflective it is. It was like so reflective that it made me think that it was transparent at first. Like I was
Okay.
like, is this some weird like high tech transparent um trailer or something?
Yeah.
And but no. And so the story is like there's this robot, and then and he's a hitchhiker, and there's this girl riding on a trailer, and then he catches a ride with her. Um God, it was just so creepy. I can't really even talk about like the story premise or whatever, just because of how creepy it was. So like the guy like gains her trust and then like pretends that he's sleeping after tearing down like the divider between, like the common space and like the bathroom or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, it's just a fucking robot." But then he's like taking pictures of her while she's undressing, and he like break oh god. I mean, like, I can keep
Yeah.
going. I can like I'm about to go full
He
rant if you want to say something, go for it.
yeah, yeah, he takes pictures of her, and and then posts them onto his blog, which is like his journey with pretty ladies. So he basically, this is like his life's work, is he just hitchhikes and tries to hitchhike chicks and then takes pictures of them inappropriately and then posts them on his blog. And so that's already creepy right there. And then it goes full creep when she kicks him out of the trailer. He breaks into the trailer by his finger turns into a key, gets in bed next to her, and is like taking pictures of her while she's asleep.
Like a
Like,
selfie. He's taking a selfie
yeah,
with her while she's like asleep.
yeah. And yeah, go full rant. No, go
I
for
mean,
it.
okay, so like there's one thing that's interesting, like so it showed there was like some boob in here, but it was like completely, it's not like, ooh, boob. It was creepy. She was just fucking changing and he was taking pictures of her. It's not like, hey, but it's like, uh, I don't know. Like and like she's in a trusting position. Like, I mean, I know that this is an anime or whatever. Like, it's a cartoon. It's supposed to be a joke. It's supposed to be funny. But I kind of was grossed out by it. Like, it was kind of like just sleazy. Like, it's just like a sleazy like robot pervert trying to take advantage of like kind girls who pick up on him. When he sweats, it's like instead of water, it's oil, and he's like using like weird slang and saying like, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's sorry." It's like you are a fucking rapey robot. Like,
Yeah, he pretends to be from America for a little while too.
God, yeah. It's like I sorry, I'm just like don't understand. It's like it's so just yeah, and then like at the end, he's like, okay, well, yeah, I got to where I needed to go in order to get my repairs that I need to get. Thank you. And then he just goes and tries to like pick up on more girls that are driving by, and he like analyzes their bust size and stuff like that, and then gives them like a ranking for it. It's fucking gross. Like it's a real pretty like anime. Like it's really pretty. It's well done. In regards to that, and if they're trying to gross you out, they do it really well. Um,
Yeah, and what I was kind of surprised by is, usually when there's like a creepy pervert in an anime, they usually get like beat up typically, and he gets beat up a little bit, but he gets let off really easily,
yeah, I was hoping
like
that he would die.
super easily. Yeah, I was hoping he would like get hit by a truck or something like that, but she just drops him off and is like, "Okay, you should probably stop doing that, even though you put all my pictures online." And she just, you know,
Yeah,
kind of ignores it, and then he's back doing the same thing. I just was that was the part I was like, I mean, I was creeped out before that, but that was where I really was like,
sort of
oh,
took the cake.
yeah, I don't know. That was like, really? She just let him off. She still drove him after that. Like,
Yeah,
okay. I will say the fucking airstream that they have is fucking awesome.
yeah,
I think it looks like in the credits they actually did give credit to Airstream Japan Incorporated. So it looks like they did get like cooperation from like the actual Airstream company to do shit. It is a fucking beautiful RV. I mean, like I want this RV.
yeah.
if RV like if I would love to have this RV, and they obviously love it too because there's a scene in it where I think it's behind. I can't remember if it's a shot. I think it's of her and it's behind her, but it could also be the fucking pervert robot. There is a mini like toy version of the RV on one of the like counters. Uh, so I think this is basically RV porn,
And
and
rapey
everything
porn.
else. Yeah, I mean the rapey stuff, notwithstanding, like I do think this was just an excuse to draw like an awesome RV. I'm pretty sure the RV was CG. I don't know, whatever. But it's just the short. It's too bad because it's a beautiful short. It's really well directed. The animation is gorgeous. The lighting is amazing. The backgrounds are really pretty. You've got awesome people working on it, and it's just like this is so fucking creepy. I wouldn't watch it with anybody. Like I was creeped out watching it by myself,
Yeah, yeah.
and I like a lot of creepy shit.
Yeah, like I'm surprised how offended I was because of how okay I am with most creepy things. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah. Oh.
but this definitely like put it beyond like the level. And I mean, and I think part of it's because it was also like so like well animated,
Yeah.
so it sort of seemed like it was real enough to be really not okay.
Yeah. And you had like kind of jolly music going on in the background, and this guy like just kind of plays it all off, and this robot's like, well, oh, I'm just like a crazy old, cowboy robot. And it's like, I think if there had been actual humor in it, that would have been different. But the robot's just creepy as fuck. And there's no, she doesn't do anything to it. She just, drops him off.
Yeah.
And that's the part I really didn't like. I think if she had like blown him up or something like that, that would have like made me feel a little better. But he's like the bad guy in this,
Right.
and like he's treated as the protagonist, and it's like, yeah, it was just too. It was super creepy. I was really, I was like, holy fuck. Okay, so this really gets. It pains me to do this, but this is like fucking two thumbs down. Um, it really is, which is too bad because Okuyota is amazing, and I mean Takeshi Honda. I mean, I love his stuff, so that's really sad for me to say that. But yeah, I couldn't recommend this to really anybody.
Uh, I wouldn't. I mean, like, so we just the episode before this was Ragnarok. I even though this was like really creepy and terrible and all that jazz, I still liked it more than Ragnarok because it incited those feelings.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It did incite an
Like
actual
really strong.
reaction.
Like it. Like what's that saying? Is that someone who hates you is just as good as any fan, or is better than any fan, or something like that. Like I don't know if you've heard that expression, but it's just because it's like if you they're really close, like your greatest fan and your greatest enemy, like really liking something, really hating something is really close to being
Uh,
the same thing. Uh,
yeah,
and so and this one is just like it gets such a reaction that it's like
yeah.
it's really well done. I still wouldn't recommend it to anyone because I wouldn't want to be associated with like a rapey robot, but like
Well,
I really
I'd be
appreciate the
interested.
work that they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I do. I mean, it's not. I mean, Ragnarok's problem was that it was just fucking boring, which is I think
That's way
at least
worse.
at least be offensive before you're
Right.
boring. That's definitely do that. So I'd be interested in hearing from like people who actually enjoyed this short and like why it wasn't creepy for them.
Well, they
I'd
probably. I
actually
mean,
like
like
to.
I guess thinking it's funny is where it is, and I can
Yeah.
see how like there is some sort of like humor in it. Just for me, it was just too rapey. So
Yeah,
and like
too
when
right.
you're making joke around, like taking advantage of someone, even like sexually or their privacy or whatever, you're on a fine line between being funny and like haha or being like no, like leave.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and like I think the shower scene, it, that would have been like maybe okay if the bed scene is like that was like too far. That was like what the fuck? He like broke in and
Right.
still took pictures of
When
her.
he
Like
like was sitting outside and was like, "Well, time to go inside," and then it's like nonchalantly walked up his finger and turned into a key, even though he's like already been rejected, like he was kicked out. Like you're sleeping outside. Haha, just kidding, silly human.
yeah, I mean that was really. I mean, this is like this robot lost any cuteness at that point. Suddenly, it was like actually he's like a fucking terror.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's tough, yeah. But still offensive is still better than boring. So it's just a shame that Okuyota and Honda couldn't have worked on something like not as fucking creepy as this. But
Yeah.
hey, the Airstream's pretty. So
Yeah. That stream's really pretty.
yeah.
Well,
So there you go.
that's all I really have to say about that. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next time.
Catch you next time.